Participants, this is the time when you can ask questions. So if you have anything you would like to know or you want our speaker to address, you're very free to unmute yourself and ask your questions, or you can type it in the chat box. I'll read it out. So please, let's do that quickly. So while we are waiting for that, I would like to ask Nathan, is there any popular sports scholarship that is global and is open to international students?
Like I said, I'm going to post some of that in the chat box.
Okay.
Specifically, I don't know of any, but there are general scholarships put out by a lot of different companies. I think of Coca-Cola, I think of Nike, just going out there and doing your research on the internet will help you discover the different opportunities out there. And also, it can depend on the university. A lot of universities offer scholarships within their school itself, and so as you look, you may find sports scholarships out there to study, but it's at that school specifically.
Okay, and I have one more question. Actually, we're going to talk about this later on when we start talking about creative scholarships, which sports scholarship is one of the things that we're going to be discussing. Well, as an expert in the field of sports, I would like you to address the issue of building a portfolio for applying for a sports scholarship. I'll talk about that later, but if you can tell us what would be the key thing that an expert will look out for in a portfolio like that, and so that it can help people to know what to put inside and how to present.
Right. So I think a vast, just having different experiences of working in sport is going to be helpful. And like I said, these can be volunteer type things. If you played a sport, that even is helpful, but it's not necessary. If you played a sport, then talk about things that you learned. Focus on teamwork and how you had to be responsible, and how you had to prepare yourself for the different things involved in that sport. And then if there's different events, community events, different things that you've been able to go and be a part of that's related to sports, include that in your portfolio. And if you even have I would say pictures or digital type resources that you've prepared that can even tell more of the story, and it's just not written words, those could also be helpful.
Thank you. Anyone has any question?
Hello,
okay, go ahead, Toby.
Good morning.
Go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning.
Sir. Please, do you your sports based on a area constitution, please? Do you have a area constitution of sports?
Can you that again?
Can you repeat the question?
I said, do you have an area of constitution of sports? Do you base on one sport or different sports?
Okay, so our company is mainly focused in ultimate frisbee, but here in Malaysia we have also done basketball, softball, baseball. One of our slogans is "We're the experts at finding the experts," and so here in Malaysia, say if our company wanted to do football. Well, football is done really well by the federation here, Malaysian Football Federation, and other groups across Malaysia. And so there would be a lot of politics involved for us to get involved with football. And so we have decided to do a sport that is not as, I guess, politics involved. And it allows us to, I guess, access different groups a lot easier. Now, our colleagues that live in other countries around the world, some of them are also doing sports like basketball, baseball. You can go to gspconsulting.com and see all the different sports that our reps are doing in 20 countries across this world. So we used to try to focus in several different sports, and we found that was hard for us to do a good job. And so we decided to narrow it down. Now, say if the Ministry of Education came up to us and said, hey, we want to offer you, we need help in volleyball, and we're going to give you this much money, and can you help us put on a volleyball project? Well, then I would contact my international office, which is located in Cyprus, there in the Mediterranean, and they would go through their database and find out which volleyball coaches we have in our network. And we could possibly bring one or two of those coaches out to join our team, and we would host a volleyball event. But that would be a short project. It wouldn't be a long-term focus. But it does help us build a relationship with our partners at Ministry of Education or Ministry of Youth and Sport. A good question.
Yes, thanks, sir. Thanks for the answer, sir. I'm grateful. So that's my question.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Does anyone have any other question?
Hello, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my question is that do they have opportunity for study? Like, if you want to study sports, you have some opportunity. Actually, I don't know. I joined while the session is going on, so I don't know whether you mentioned something about that. Somebody who wants to go to sports, what's the practices? Opportunity like that.
Are you talking about GSP consulting or generally university education?
Yeah. Generally, yeah.
Okay, generally. Yes, there are many opportunities to study sports. I will be talking about that comprehensively after this session. So I'm just trying to take any questions that is meant for our guest speaker so we can release him, and then we'll go ahead and talk about other issues.
Secondly, the company, do you have opportunity for those who want to go to sports?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other question? Okay. I have a last question before we. Okay, Mr. Patukasi, you want to go ahead, please?
Yeah. Good morning, all.
Yeah.
Thanks
good
for
morning to you.
Presentation. Yeah, I just want to find out. This an organization trying to partner with this. If I'm doing sports, what's the cost implication? What's the cost attached to this, and what is the age bracket they are targeting? What's the cost attached to this? What's the way how if I'm doing sports? We have adolescents in sports, maybe volleyball or something, or football. What's the cost? What's the procedure? Or what's the cost? And what's the age that is being targeted here? Thanks.
So actually, our target age group has changed over the years. So originally, we were focused on university students. So around 19 to 24, 25 years old. But the past 10 years, we've shifted. And now we're focused more on around 13 years old up to around 18 or 19 years old, really looking at youth development. And so as we train up the youth, then they become the university students, and then they start working more with the National Association. And it's the National Association's job to then have good coaches to train up that age group. And so our business here in Malaysia is mainly focused on 13 to 19-year-olds. Now, sometimes if a university invited us to come do an event, we're still going to go. Two of my colleagues right now are working with 20-year-olds in the sport. And so we have a mixture. And know that as you look at careers, I think even some of my jobs, I worked with 80-year-olds, and I've worked with 6 and 8-year-olds. And so actually the 80-year-olds taught me how to play badminton. And that's come in real good handy here in Asia, because badminton is a popular sport here. The 6 and 8-year-olds teach me about patience. And but as you explore a career, find out what age group you enjoy being around. And you may be able to focus in on that group, but you may also have a mixture of groups. Great question.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
So the scholarship, assuming, is only available for schools in Malaysia. Is it limited to only?
We're actually not talking about scholarships yet. We are going to be talking about scholarships after this session. So just we're going to address that question when we start talking about scholarship. But the last question I would like our speaker to take before leaving the call is you played sports while you were in the university. So I wanted to know, when a student is playing sport, does the university factor in the education part, or does the playing sport affect the academic part? Or how is the balance created within the university system?
Yeah, so I just played 1 year of my 4 years. And usually a student that is playing a sport, it may take them longer to finish their university degree. Or they may, it's very common that they will not take a break in their summers so that they can study credit hours during the summer break. It also provides the opportunity for them to still be on campus, to have access to the sports training facilities. And so a lot of your athletes are doing their sports training either before class, early in the morning, like 6 a.m., or they're doing it at 3 or 4 p.m. after their studies have finished. And so a normal student would take 15 credit hours, 15 to 18 credit hours during a semester. But an athlete may choose only to do 12 credit hours, which would be usually 4 classes. And I still don't know how, like the sport of basketball, their season falls a lot during the testing times, and they're traveling to tournaments and different events. And so their studies are a lot of times in the airplane or on the bus with a tutor. And you'll see if they're a really good athlete, they don't even finish their 4 years. They go to the NBA, but then maybe after that time's over, they'll go back to their university and finish their degree. And so that's encouraging when an athlete is committed to see their education through.
Okay, thank you very much, because I've been wondering about that. Like, how do you balance the two? Yeah,
I only survived 1 year, and that was one reason. I wanted to be a good student too, and it was going to be hard to do that, to study, and to be involved in my community. And so something had to give, and I decided to move away from sports at that time.
Wow. Thank you very much for your presentation this afternoon. We're very grateful. We've learned a lot, and hopefully we'll call you again sometimes when we are talking about sports again. Thank you very much.
Thank you for everyone joining.